Hey, it's Joe Moya, founder and creator of GPSforlove.com. Do you believe that all the good guys are married, taken, or gay? Well, if so, I want you to pay close attention because today we're going to shine some light on the truth. See, I'm not a big fan of statistics because statistics can be manipulated by the person observing them and can used to support whatever they want to believe. But sometimes statistics are valuable in helping us understand how things really are. So again, we hear there's no good guys out there, okay? All the guys are married, taken, or gay. Well, according to the latest research, for the first time in US history, that there are more single adults than there are married adults. And that comes out to about 124.6 million singles. Now, according to the research, it's about 85 guys, 86 guys for every 100 single women. So if you look at it, the ratio, it's almost 1-to-1. Not quite 1-to-1, but almost. About 8.5 guys to every 10 single women. Okay? It's not like this great disparaging difference between the two, where it's like 2 single guys to every 10 single women. It's almost there, relatively close. Now, if you've been watching our videos and you know here at GPS for Love, we're the first to tell you that there are a lot of boys out there, a lot of guys who are selfish, immature, emotionally unavailable, who only care about one thing and one thing only, getting in your pants. Okay, so let's say that the majority of these guys that are single fall into that category. Let's say 80% of them. Okay, that still leaves 10 million quality single guys out there. Now, I know you're saying, yeah, but Joe, but where are they? You know what? They're living their lives. Okay, they're looking for a quality single woman like you, and believe it or not, they're just as frustrated in trying to find that special someone. Now, see, I know it's hard for you to believe that, and the reason it's hard for you to believe that is because you're a single woman. Okay, you don't walk in their shoes. Trust me, there was a time in my life where I struggled for almost 15 years looking for that special someone to share my life with. And one of the reasons I struggled is because my belief, my perception is that there were 2 types of single women out there. The first type was the superficial bitches. Okay, that's what I called them, quite transparently. And those are women who had this criteria of 86 things. And if you didn't meet every one of those 86 freaking things on their list, they wouldn't consider going out with you. You know, if they went on a first date, if they didn't feel this amazing chemistry, you didn't have the perfect hair, perfect teeth. Obviously, I didn't make it on the hair department. Okay, they wouldn't even consider going out with you. And they wouldn't give you a chance. And that used to frustrate me as a single guy. You know, same thing for you single women. It's like, you know what, you may not be a GQ, a Cosmo model, and you get frustrated because you think guys won't give you the time of day because you don't look like a supermodel. And again, those are the boys. Not saying that those guys don't exist. But your perception is your reality. So my perception, where there was a superficial woman, got to meet 86 things on their list, or there were those women who were so desperate and needy for a relationship that they would take any guy who came along and paid attention to them. And dated, quite a few. And most of the women that I dated, quite honestly, were in that category because I didn't want to be with a bitch. Like, that just didn't work for me. And when I started dating women, then I realized that, they just want to be with a guy. Like, it's not so much about me as a person. It's just being with someone who will pay attention to them, who will, ultimately walk them down the aisle and help them pop out kids. And I didn't want to be with a woman like that. So I wanted to be with a woman who wanted to be with me because I was a good guy who treated her well, and she realized what kind of quality man that I was. So the reason I'm sharing this with you is because your perception is your reality. And so my perception were there were those 2 types of women. But an interesting thing happened. Somewhere along the line, I started realizing that, you know what? There are lots of good quality women out there. And my beliefs started changing. And then once my beliefs started changing, guess what happened? My reality started changing. Is that I started finding a lot of good quality women, to date. So, and it was interesting because I was the kind of guy that, like, very rarely dated. I would meet someone, it'd be a while before I met someone, then I'd be in a relationship, then I would be single a while, and then it would take me a long time before I found somebody else to date and kind of start the process over again. But once I started realizing there are good quality women out there, I started meeting a bunch of them. And I would literally start dating 3 at a time. Now, let me preface this by saying that does not mean I was sleeping with all 3 of those women. What it means is that I was dating them. Okay, it's like test driving cars. I would go out with one on one night, and I would go out with another on another night, just to see who is the kind of woman that I would want to be in a relationship with. So I believe that there's nothing wrong with dating more than one person as long as you're not being intimate. Once you cross that barrier, that's a different story. But it's about, figuring out who's the best one for me, and also who's the one that I am right for. Making sure that a person is picking me for the right reasons. So once my perception changed, my reality started changing. And one of the biggest things that helped me, is going to help you, is that instead of focusing on the bitches and the needy, desperate woman, what I started focusing on is one. I just need one. And that was my mantra, is I just need one. And so if I met someone who was superficial or was needy, I'd be like, it's just not the right one. Next. And that was my mantra, next. And I just kept going, next, looking for the right one. And now instead of focusing on the bitches and the needy women, I was focusing on finding that right one and the good one. And then the good ones started showing up. And then ultimately, relatively quickly after making these changes, the right one showed up. And that was over 16 years ago. And, we're together, stronger than ever, more in love than the day we walked down the aisle. And that's why I do this, is to help you create the results. Because I know it may appear like there's these universal forces and you don't have any say in the game, but you do. There's things work a specific way. And a lot of it has to do with what you believe and what you focus on. And so if you believe that you can have love, you can find love, and there are good quality guys out there, and you go and you stand in your power and you screen men quickly, then this whole journey, this whole game is going to be easier. Now, let me preface this by saying that doesn't mean that you play games. Okay, I'm not a big believer in playing games. And my philosophy is you have to play games to make someone want to be with you or fall in love with you or stay with you, then you might want to look at that relationship. I'm a big believer in showing up authentically from the first date, kind of like, this is who I am. And if you don't like it, hit the road. But I'm not going to compromise who I am to make you like me or want to be with me. And when you come from that place and you're clear that there are good guys out there and that they are struggling just like you, and they're having a difficult time finding that special someone to share your life with, and you put yourself out there from that space, really cool things happen. So up until now, I know your perception may have been that there are no good guys out there. So again, I want you to really look at your beliefs about guys, about dating, about relationships, about marriage, about men's ability to commit, whatever it may be for you. And I want you to really look and see, does that serve you? Is that making it harder for you to find the kind of guy that you're looking for? And then I'm going to give you a little assignment. I want you to find a guy. Maybe you have a friend, a coworker who's single, who's looking for a relationship. And I'm talking about a man. I'm not talking about a boy. And ask him what it's like for him. Ask him what dating is like. Ask him the crap that he has to go through. And you'll get a good understanding that, for single guys, single men who are looking for a relationship, it's just as frustrating, it's just as difficult, it's just as challenging. And so once you understand that there are boys out there and there are good guys, many of who are just like you, who want the same thing, who are struggling, then 90% of the mental game is over. Then you're going to start putting yourself in a position mentally to start focusing and attracting the quality men that you're looking for. Then you're going to be noticing, you're going to be sitting on a subway and you're going to see a good man with his wife, or with his children, or somebody hold the door open for a woman. And you're going to start noticing, you know what? Wow, there's a lot of good men out there. And you're going to be almost energized, and your perception is going to change, and that's going to start leading to changes in your life as well. So here's your homework. Again, no, I threw a lot at you, but we're starting to go deeper here at GPS for Love, because too many people are wasting time and making it more difficult than it needs to be. So I want you to take a good look at your beliefs about men, about dating, about relationships, about love, all of it, and just get really transparent, really honest. Take that mirror time. And then if you have a chance, go find a single guy, okay, a coworker. If you're doing online dating, and you're dating a guy, or you're interested in a guy, ask him what it's like being single. And just really see that, guys struggle. and go through just as much crap as you do. Guys get blown off. Guys are told that, by a woman, yeah, I'd love to see you, and she blows them off. Guys, go after a woman who says, yeah, I want to be with you, and she goes in full speed, and then all of a sudden her shit comes to the surface and she runs away, or she puts up walls, or she's afraid of not trusting, whatever it may be. You always say that the circus is the same, the clowns are different, and it's really, really true. And just get that understanding. But at the end of the day, all you need to do is start focusing on one. Start focusing on finding the one, identifying the one, screening and recognizing when you're going to find the one, and then recognizing when you're not with the one so that you get the hell away as quickly and efficiently as possible. So, love to hear your thoughts on this. Do you struggle with your beliefs about men, dating, relationships, love, whatever it may be? Do you have a friend who's single, who's male, who's struggling, going through the same thing? So go ahead, take that mirror time and put your questions, comments, and feedback in the box below. And if you know someone who can benefit from this, who's struggling, with their beliefs about men, do them a favor and share this with them, because they're not going to get it on the news. They're not going to get it in their local paper. And they're not going to hear it from the other members of the BMC, which is the Bitch and Moan Club. That's that group of women who are out there who are just on this crusade to crucify guys, put up on a cross and say how much they suck. And again, there's plenty of boys out there. There's plenty of guys like that out there. Those are the guys that you stay away from and avoid if you want to have that great relationship that you desire and deserve. So go ahead, put your question, comments, and feedback in the box below. As always, it's a privilege. I'll see you next time. Much love.